There's like shoes over here.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Let's see if we're live though.
That's what I'm about to do. Sorry, guys. We're just checking to make sure we are live. We are live. All right, everyone.
We are live?
We are live.
Oh, cool.
Welcome back to another edition of our Near Mint Condition Game of Thrones Season 8 episode recap and review. As you know, Omar and I have just watched Season 8, Episode 3. I think it's called The Battle for Winterfell.
We think so.
We think
but
so.
If anybody joins the chat at any times,
it's not.
let us
let
know.
us know.
Yes, the Battle for Winterfell. Maybe that's what it's called.
Yes.
We don't know yet. In Game of Thrones. Yes.
Yes, it really was.
That's what a lot of people are calling it online.
It's been a crazy weekend for all of us who are fans of both the Marvel MCU and the Game of Thrones franchises. So basically we have our battles. So as we all know, at the end of last episode, we have Winterfell, the Unsullied, the Dothraki. All of them are preparing for this huge, massive battle with the White Walkers, the Whites, the Night King. They're all coming, and our episode kind of opens with preparation. It starts with Sam's viewpoint, goes to Tyrion's viewpoint as they're walking through, as everyone's preparing for battle. Mm-hmm. And then
it's about 10 minutes of a prep scene.
Pretty much, yeah.
Which is cool, because it kind of shows you where each character is going to be and what role they're going to play in this battle to come. And also kind of gets you ready, like, where they are mentally.
Yes, exactly. And so then you start to see the formations, where everyone at as far as strategically on the battlefield, including our Dothraki, our horse riders right there in the front. And then you can see that they can't see their opponents, the Whites, right away, because obviously with it being night and winter, that leads for very dark, murky conditions. And then you see a lone rider coming to them from a distance, and it turns out to be Melisandre, which we didn't know what was going to happen with her this season, where she was going to end up, but we all knew that she wasn't going to live long, and so she had returned to us, I guess, in the nick of time. She had used her...
she came back to remind us of a prophecy that she told Arya the next time she saw her.
Yes, she did. Yes, exactly. She came back for a lot of poignant reasons. Because her and Davos got to see each other again after what she had done to Shireen, and of course she had to warn him or reassure him that, killing her wouldn't matter because she was going to be dead anyways. She also did bring her Lord of Light fire with her, first for the Dothraki, to light their swords. However, when you have as much dead, kind of like World War Z, where they just jumped and piled on top of each other because they're dead and they're not the same.
It was an interesting kind of battle, I have to say. Did we ever see Ghost again when
no,
he went
we
out?
have never
God
seen
damn
Ghost.
it! Did they kill Ghost
yeah,
off screen?
That was the first death that kind of made me angry. Not because it was a death. I mean, obviously we expected a lot of deaths because of this battle.
The Dothraki got wiped out. They got wiped
he was
fuck out.
Besides Nymeria, who's now a wild wolf.
But Ghost's not coming back. That's kind of odd.
Maybe
you know what? No body, no death. I'm gonna go with the old comic book saying.
Yeah.
So, yeah, unless he is dead, which would suck because killing him, he's like the last direwolf we have. So killing him off screen would kind of suck.
That's kind of a detriment to.
So that was interesting to have her back, and then this huge battle. I will say that the way that this was shot was very unique because, this is the same gentleman that shot the Battle of the Bastards, right?
Yes, it was.
Where it was
Miguel
such a right. Thank you for pronouncing that, because I would have butchered the shit out of his name. Where we have this up close battle, very Saving Private Ryan, where it's confusing. You get lost. You throw a bunch of snow in like a blizzard, which is what the Night King is summoning, and it becomes a mess. So I really like the way that it was shot. I like the way that the different angles were taken with the battle. So I thought that was really cool. So in a way, I was looking forward to him directing this episode, because this is a different kind of fight. We've seen them fight,
on a big battlefield. Yeah.
Well, we've seen them fight big, human beings. We've never seen them fight the undead. So it was interesting to see all these characters just fight this just non-stoppable army that just keeps coming and piling their dead, because they're already dead, so they can just keep piling and piling the bodies on top of each other.
Yeah.
Which is exactly how this episode was. So you're automatically like, shit, who's gonna die? And then Ed gets it.
Yeah, of course.
He's the first on-screen death.
He was the first on-screen death that we got. And we were, I think some people were surprised there weren't as many main character or supporting character deaths.
I will say I was surprised, because this late in the game, there should have been more.
Well,
were you not?
Well, at first, I guess I'm not, because I don't think that the Night King was going to be our final battle, and it would really suck if a lot of our key...
Okay.
I think our final battle is going to be with Cersei and the Golden Army, and I think I'd be really disappointed if we killed all of our major warriors off, and what do we have? Jon and Daenerys and a couple of and just Jaime pretty much fighting against Cersei. This way... we still get our, we still got some deaths. We had Dondarrion. Yeah.
Yeah, we had Dondarrion pass away.
Yeah, we had Dondarrion
and then
pass away. We had...
Melisandre of her own will.
Of her own will.
Like, she went out.
That was very poetic, the way it ended at the end with her
So she came
out.
back, because the last time we saw her with Arya together, she was with the Brotherhood Without Banners,
yes.
right?
And then she took Gendry.
And she took Gendry and leeched the fuck out of him.
Yeah, exactly.
So you had this prophecy where she was like, you're going to kill a lot of people with blue. At the time, you were like, oh, she's going to become an assassin. She's going to become a no-face.
Maybe she'll kill all the people on her list. Yeah,
so it was interesting to see her reveal
her true destiny.
Her true destiny, and Arya takes off running off shot, and you're like, oh, okay. What a weird... That was the only weird moment of editing that I was like, that was a little odd. Like, I guess she's going to go and do something huge.
But what is it?
But what is it? Maybe they're doing this to make you forget about her. So later on, when she comes back and kills the Night King, you're like, oh, it's Arya. She's killing the Night King.
That actually is, because I just read, before we started, I read an article with, I know, I read really fast. But I was reading highlights with Maisie Williams and Kit Harington and Miguel, the director, and they had talked about this particular scene, or this particular episode, how it's Arya who ends up killing the Night King. And she had said... Miguel said the purpose was to make you forget about her, and then so thinking that Jon, as he's struggling to get to the Night King, will show up in the nick of time, and then she comes out of nowhere and ends up being the one who actually does it. Which I don't think we never forgot about her. We were kept like, where is she? Where is she? And we're like, she's the one who's going to do it. She has to be the one to do it. Yet it still could have went the way of Jon, especially when he had grabbed her, and I thought maybe he would have threw her aside, and then Jon would come up. But I like her assassin technique there.
So I was disappointed in a few things. Now that we can't really break down the episode because it's just a huge giant
battle.
fight.
I mean, there's some great.
I think it was shot really beautifully. Well, I think it was shot.
It was not just
smart.
a battle, because then they had the big battle, right? Mm-hmm. But the primary battle was taking place in the castle, and it almost felt like how the horror films and the suspense as they move around the corners, and
there were a lot of tight up close shots too. That's when it turned into a horror flick.
It really did.
When Arya's in her own castle, and it turned into like which was really weird. Okay, so I found a couple of things really strange. One was the Arya, right? Like, just becoming really scared out of nowhere and going to hide in the keep or in the castle. I thought that was really out of character. I never saw her just giving up and like, oh, screw this, I'm gonna go hide, instead of like, because just a few minutes before that she was taking on all those.
But then she lost her weapon, and
she
was starting Arya. To. I know, I understand that, but that's the whole purpose. Even I think it shows that even in the face of battle, she's never fought in a real battle before. She's an assassin. So she always came up and did it from behind. She never fought in this type of battle. Now she's fighting not only in an actual war, but she's also fighting a enemy that doesn't quit, that doesn't die, doesn't fatigue. So I think for her, it was just a momentary relapse where that fear took over, and then of course they needed the Red Queen or the Red Priestess to come in and remind her who she is and what her destiny is.
I did like that part. The part that they brought it back to what do we say to the God of Death and not today. Going back to his fencing master, the dancing master.
The dancing master.
So
she knows all
I don't know. I thought that was weird and out of character. I was really disappointed that I didn't see any White Walkers fight. Like, I wanted some White Walkers to die.
Those guys, honestly. Well,
like, seriously, you take out a few White Walkers and a bunch of the dead die. That's what I wanted to see. That's why I was so, like, I love the way the episode was shot, But I think I was just more disappointed in the fact that there was a lot of missed opportunities to have so much fun with this episode. Because we've been waiting years, 8-9 years now, for this battle. This is what I wanted. Yeah. I have wanted the White Walkers to come past the wall and go and kick the shit out of everybody in the north and then move their way south. But apparently that's not happening. So you said you knew they were going to die, and then the Golden Army fight was going to happen next?
My whole thing was, I figured we can't have this whole season be about the Night King, unfortunately, because at the end of the day, their battle is with Cersei and taking back the Iron Throne. That's what's been about this entire 8 seasons. And so if we're going to see a lot of deaths, it's going to be when we are having our final battle between... Because we think about it, this is only episode 3, guys. We still have 3 more to go. If they kill off half of our supporting cast, and all we got is Jon and Daenerys arguing over who should be king and queen, and then just Euron and Cersei over there down in King's Landing, we don't have a lot of people to create any extra story to go on with these episodes that are supposed to be, 72 to 82 minutes long, the last 3 episodes. So
No, I get it.
Yeah.
But here's my problem. So, okay, we have these episodes coming out, right? We have 3 more episodes.
Yeah.
But realistically, I know this is going to sound ridiculous, I expected more people to die when you have a giant blue dragon, a bunch of motherfuckers that won't stay dead, and some White Walkers.
We did
instead of
like
fighting. No, I know, but I'm talking big name characters,
yeah,
right?
I know.
Really, they faked this out with Tyrion holding and kissing Sansa's hands. I was like,
beautiful moment, by the way.
I was ready. I was like, okay, this is the moment I cried. I'm gonna cry like a freaking 5-year-old girl whose candy got taken away. And no, it didn't happen. The music kicked in, and I was like, oh. Okay, that didn't happen. That's a really odd choice.
That wasn't.
So I wonder if it was last minute changes or something, because I feel like had this been George R.R. Martin, motherfuckers, like, we would have had 3 main characters left and that's it.
Yeah, probably.
Like, a lot of the characters. So it surprises me that they didn't go ahead and kill them off instead of waiting for the next battle with Cersei. Like, I really thought one of the Lannister brothers was going to go. I thought Jaime or Tyrion was going to go.
Not quite yet.
But,
I still think one will survive and one ends up dying. So
yeah, Christian, that's what we were talking about, the Where's Ghost, and we're thinking
he died off screen. Which would be a shame.
I hate to believe that, though.
I'm still hoping that at the beginning of next episode, he comes limping back and he's been here the whole time and we just didn't know it.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people in the chat have said it, though. Like, I feel the same way. It's years of expectations for something like this.
Fighting the White Walkers.
Well, it's just 8 years of build-up that I've been waiting for this battle, and then, like I said, while it was beautifully shot, and there was a lot of money spent in this. Well, we're talking about
all the dragon
not
fights,
just the cinematography, but also the special effects. The dragons fighting
each other,
the bodies just piling on top of each other, the bodies falling from the ceiling and the sky.
The makeup, it's insane.
It looked a lot better than not most movies, but some movies.
It's almost up there with some of the battle scenes from like Lord of the Rings and stuff. I just think of fantasy epics.
Well, we've gotten way ahead on technology, though.
No, I know. But I think that realistically, the White Walkers wouldn't enter the fray, and that's unfortunately probably. They never have to really. Because when they have that many dead people to fight for them and they can just raise more, they never have to enter the fray, which is obviously sucks for us as viewers if we want to see them actually battling some of our favorites. At the same time, that is probably the reality of it. They don't really need to get out there and fight just because they don't need to. They have all of those whites that are there.
I know, but I wanted some up-close battles with them because they are the badasses of the badass. Who does Cersei have in her army besides what's-his-name? Euron, right? You kill him and that's it. But you take down a few... Like, I wanted my boy Jar. He had the goddamn Valyrian steel. And then he dies. And I'm like, oh...
But he died defending
his queen. I love the way... I'm not going to lie. I did love the way that he died, but I wanted,
not everything is Marvel. That's true.
Not everything is Marvel.
Yeah. That's what Dread Bodalas Dallas? I'm sorry if I mispronounced your tag.
Double dollars.
But yeah, I agree. The battle was full of tension. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, wondering what was going to happen next. So from that standpoint, because you didn't know who was going to die, you didn't know who was going to end up where. I
did not see Arya killing the Night King. I did not see that coming. Like, part of me wanted it to, but because I kind
of knew it couldn't have been Jon though.
Really?
It's just the way they've been setting up Jon. I don't know, it just seems like there's something about his character where he has this legacy that he just can't quite fulfill, and that's why I just don't know if it was going to be him at the end of the day. Because even with the Battle of the Bastards, I mean, he nearly almost died, but he was saved, you know, with Sansa coming in at the last minute with her deal with Littlefinger and bringing the Knights of the Vale in to help defeat them, you know. So I'm not. It always feels like a missed opportunity for poor Jon Snow, just to get to that point. So yeah, I've seen it be Arya, and I'm glad it was Arya. I think it was a good twist for a lot of fans, and she's proven herself and her arc throughout the entire series. I mean, this is what she was destined to become.
By far, right? She's got the best character arc out of any of the characters. But like I said, I just didn't see it coming. Maybe because not the way that the books were leading me to think. And I know this is different than the books, but in the end, both endings are supposed to be the same. I thought there were a lot of mistakes, a lot of almost rookie mistakes. As soon as Jon took off, after Daenerys making the mistake of taking off, and because she saw her entire, and I understand her entire people got wiped off, but that ruined the whole plan, right? Of keeping the dragons.
Plan. Yeah.
And then Jon took off, and then the Night King comes and calls Jon out, so Jon takes off again. I'm like, oh come on, dude, we've done this. You know this is a trap.
Yeah.
Even though it was really fun to see the dragons fight, I just thought like, strategically, that was such a horrible idea just to take off after the Night King.
It was a bad move. Bad move.
So, whatever.
Maybe Jon going after Night King like he did was probably the best idea. He knows what needed to be to do the final deed. But then we wouldn't have the ending.
So Philip Evans brought something up. He said it was slow motion like everybody's facing their doom. Not only that, dude, but they also kicked in that little sad tune too, and I was like,
was beautiful.
Oh, hey, people are gonna die, and then nobody dies except for my boy Jorah. Well, like I said, went out like a pimp.
He did go out like a pimp, yeah. But you were hoping that Tormund would have got... Well, but we did get one surprise death I don't think anyone was really expecting. That was Lyanna Stark.
I was so disappointed in Sam, too.
Oh, I was very disappointed in Sam.
Sam gave his whole speech about like
wanting to fight and being... But he still survived.
And like I said, it didn't feel like a George R. R. Martin, because when Martin was writing the character, you know, Sam tells him the whole thing about... Or Gilly. He tells Gilly to stay. And he's like, you know, I gotta go out there because that's what men do. And here he leaves Ed after Ed saves him, and Ed dies, of course.
Yeah, so he has
I was just surprised that he took off running. And then at the end, you know, I guess he was crying, and then he got piled up by a bunch of bodies. He survived, didn't he?
He did survive, yeah. As far as I know, he survived. Davos, which we didn't see a lot of Davos in the battle. Right after, once everyone had started entering the walls, and then we started getting those up close fight scenes within the castle. I don't remember seeing a lot of Davos in there. We saw, you know, obviously we saw Podrick.
Well, he did say he's no good in a fight.
He is, yeah. So smart man, kind of probably hid. So we saw Brienne, Jaime, and Podrick kind of backed up against the wall for the majority of their fight.
I'm surprised Podrick didn't get it.
Did Gendry survive?
Like, how is Gendry alive? How is Grey Worm alive? Like,
I was surprised by Grey Worm because I really thought he was going to get it many times.
Jorah, motherfucking Mormon, goes out before Grey Worm.
So I guess we're protecting his queen. Grey Worm's still alive. Tormund's still alive because we didn't see him die on screen, and he's not a character I think they would kill off screen. So it'll be interesting to see.
All right, so Caesar's asking a really good question. What dagger did Arya have? Didn't she give Sansa Littlefinger's dagger? That's the Valyrian steel dagger, right?
Yes, that's a good question.
So what dagger did she use, or did she just use Dragonglass?
I think she used Dragonglass.
Dragonglass took out the Night King? No, it was a dagger.
No, it was a dagger. It was Valyrian steel. No, she didn't give... Okay, she gave a Dragonglass to Sansa. If you go back and look at Sansa's... if you rewind it, look at what Sansa's holding.
You're right. I remember.
She still has Valyrian steel. She's got
a photographic memory. I don't remember shit.
Yeah, Sansa had the Dragonglass, and she had the Valyrian steel dagger. Yeah, because I thought the same thing, and then I saw the dagger in Sansa's hand. And I was like, oh, okay, she has Dragonglass. She didn't give her the Littlefinger's dagger. Okay,
smart.
That's good.
Arya.
That's smart. She should not have done that. I was like, because your sister can fight, but don't give her the Valyrian steel. She just needs the Dragonglass. She's not going to fight the Night King.
Okay, so let's see. So by the end of the episode, the good guys win. The North wins.
The North wins, but suffers serious losses.
Another thing I was surprised about was there is no Golden Army just waiting at the door to come and take down Winterfell, because that's when you strike. And if Cersei was smart, why didn't she come and do it now? Because Cersei's smart. Like, she's written really smart.
But she also didn't know how the battle was turning out, so why would she want to put her army
in
that situation?
That's what Stannis did, though. Stannis did the same thing. That's how he rescued Jon.
Okay, but that's you're talking about different. You're talking about different.
But she's such an evil character that you want to hate her some more. You just want. You just want her to wreck.
She's
everybody.
Smart. She's like, let them kill him off, and go to death, and then she'll come back in there. Because let's face it, even she knows. She saw them up close. She saw what these whites are. She wouldn't want to have her people anywhere close to that battle until she doesn't care about her people. Well, I know, but to be the winner, she does.
Oh, okay.
So I think for her sake, they're still gathering their troops, gathering what they can, and they will attack after all said and done. It doesn't matter. The North still has huge losses. It doesn't matter when she comes for them. It's still going to be brutal. It doesn't matter.
Maybe
they lost a lot of people.
Okay, so let me put it to you this way: if I didn't have See, episode 2 was a huge setup for this episode, right?
Oh, yeah, it was.
And it was
very
just
beautiful, yeah.
1 hour setup of, like, saying goodbye to some of these characters.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if I didn't have that, it's almost like they cock-teased me.
Because you expect
Because I expect, like, most of the characters, like, especially around the fire pit, to die. Because that's, I mean, that's typically what happens. And then, yeah, hardly any of them died. Like I said, beautifully shot, though. So were you, I'm the one that's bitching. Were you disappointed in anything?
No, you were super disappointed.
I'm not super disappointed.
No, you seem like it, but I mean.
I said it was shot beautifully.
It was beautifully shot. I enjoyed it. I'm happy that a lot of our characters didn't die because I think there are a lot of moments that maybe people are expecting, oh, well, like, for instance, Jaime and Bran, I don't think that's over yet. Even though he knighted her, I think she's going to have a chance to, at the end, pay it forward in some respect, if that means giving her life for Jaime, whatever the case may be, so that he can kill his sister. I don't know. Podrick, I don't think it matters if he dies or not. He'll die at some point, but it's not like he has any arc to fulfill, except for maybe becoming a knight one day. And maybe he does, for whoever the new king is, so who knows. And Jon, having a few people around Jon after all said and done would be nice. That's why I'm glad Tormund's alive. He needs some friends after he lost Ed, one of his brothers in arms. And of course, the North has suffered a great loss losing Lyanna and Jorah, the Mormonts. I mean, that whole family.
Oh, we didn't talk
about...
The
Mormont family.
I do have to say, out of this episode, I love Jorah's death. But he didn't take out a goddamn giant.
Yeah.
Like, Lady Mormont took out the giant, which is his cousin,
such a
which was
beautiful
so
moment.
badass.
And it was so sad to hear him crunch her bones. And, oh my god, I can't even think about it.
Maybe that's what I wanted. I wanted
you wanted
Jorah
him
to take
to
out a couple of White Walkers. Jorah's the fucking man. Okay, now here's a good question: who or what did Bran warg to?
The Ravens, but that's about it.
But
I don't know where they went.
What was the point of that?
I don't know. Maybe he was going to check out what's going on with the Golden Army.
But there was no Golden Army. We've established that, right?
I know. Go on with King's Landing then.
What if he was traveling through time?
Oh God, because he has to know at the end. Maybe he was traveling through time.
Well, that's what my friend Chris was talking about. How he becomes Bran the Builder or whatever. And I was like, well, I guess now would be a perfect time to explain that because there is no fucking reason why he just took off and let everybody die and then says, "Oh, Theon, thanks, man. You're a good dude."
You're a good guy. You take it like a champ. Take that right through your...
I really thought he was gonna, use his power to take over the dragon. I'm like, okay, this is how Jon comes into play. He's gonna take over the dragon's body.
And then he's gonna jump on the dragon, and then he's gonna fly in and burn him, and nothing happens.
I'm like, oh shit, wait, it's Game of Thrones.
So I'm hoping there's a reason that we find out later on, because if they just ignore that completely, then there's no point.
Empower. Sam and Brandon need their asses whooped because both were the most important, yet didn't do crap.
And both are the ones who told Jon about his heritage. And
did we even see any more cuts after Tyrion and Sansa get the dragon glass ready to go fight?
As far as cuts for them?
Yeah, did they go back to the crypt?
Yeah, at the end. They go to the crypt and they see all the bodies turn to ash and they start walking out. That's where you see Gilly and all of them.
Well, okay, that was but no more battles.
No more battles.
Yeah, that was another fake out, too.
Because they kind of started to go through it, and then they saw Varys with all those people hiding, and they kind of moved in there, right?
Yeah.
To protect them, I guess. So I'm assuming they might have killed a few, whites while they were in there, but they didn't focus on it.
Or Jelly said, warg into Viserion.
I would have loved that. Yeah, I don't know where he is.
Good point, Chris.
I can't wait to find out where he's worked. I can't wait to find out what the purpose of all that was.
I think at one time we were like, oh, he's working in a ghost. He's working in a ghost. He's bringing ghosts back.
Because I remember at the end of season, was it 5 when, what's his name died?
John?
Yeah, and everyone's like, oh, he worked in a ghost at the end, and now he's going to be, yeah. So I was hoping someone's got to work in a ghost.
Okay, it's different, because in the books you are led to believe that he's working in a ghost.
Well, even, because he's looking at his dog, yeah.
No, Gilly didn't die, man. She was there at the end on the right-hand side. Like, you see the final shot of
With Sam, she made it. A lot of other women who looked like her died. Just she didn't die.
Nash Villains, you bring up a good point. He doesn't like the obvious stuff people want. He likes them not doing the obvious. Yes, that's what we've come to expect from Game of Thrones. But it feels like now they're playing it safe by not killing off a lot of the main characters, which is unlike Game of Thrones. Come on, you look compared to like Game of Thrones season 1, even season 3, right? Nobody saw that coming.
You'd be so surprised when both Daenerys and Jon are dead.
I was thinking Daenerys was going to die. Yet. Wait, Jon's not. They're not going to kill Jon. That would be stupid. They've already done that. They've already done that.
But he'll have his final battle. He'll die. He'll die at the end. They'll both die. I'm still convinced they'll both be dead.
I'd like to put some money on that, but.
Okay, let's put some money on the fact that Jon.
Amanda, how long are the next episode? Hey, anybody in the chat? Do we know for sure that this episode was called
The Battle for Winterfell?
Battle for Winterfell. Is that what it was called?
Yes.
Somebody can check.
Episodes, yeah.
Thank you very much, Cesar Augustus.
Yes.
Cool name. We expected everyone to die, and they didn't. That's the way Game of Thrones has always been. Like you expect it to go a certain way, and it never does. But maybe it's the deaths that I was more hoping to see. I'm not impressed with this fight. What are they doing with the budget? You didn't like? I like the way it was shot. That wasn't my problem at all. I think the way it was shot was solid.
Yeah, they had a good budget for it.
And like I was saying earlier, like I think it looked a lot better than like most movies or fantasy movies and things like that. It's on par. It was shot really beautifully. The cinematography was great. Special effects were on point. I really, my problem was with the story and where it, and I don't want to say where I think it should go, but it's just It's dark, but I kind of appreciated that. You get lost in this craziness, Chris. Like, that's why I like the Battle. Like, Battle of the Bastards was done the same way. This up-close shots. Very Saving Private Ryan. You know, you kind of get the feeling. This would be insanity. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
This
was the longest episode,
It's the longest episode, but the last two are 80 minutes. This is 2 minutes longer than the last 2 episodes. Okay. And the next week's is just 78 minutes. Oh, just 70. Like, no big deal, just 78 minutes.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal.
78.
78 minutes, is next week's episode. That's why we were a little late getting on, because we had to get everything set up quick. Next time I'll do it beforehand, I promise. As far as the battle, I can see where it was a little murky and stuff at times. However, I think that whole point is, you're right, the insanity behind it, right?
I appreciated that because you feel so lost. You're like, oh my god.
We're not fighting humans, and we're not fighting other humans. We're fighting this unknown, and it's just chaos. These people fight without rhyme or reason. Our people have all been trained to fight, not all of them, but most of them, and they just don't know how to fight an enemy like this because they're rampant.
Thank you, Nash Villains. This episode is called The Long Night.
The Long Night, okay. It is a long night because it never seemed to get to daylight.
Well, that was the prophecy, right, of the long night?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what his nanny said?
His nanny, yeah.
Old nanny. Rest in peace, Theon. Yes. He went out like
so we still got like
he got a redemption
with
arc.
K-Man. I don't know if I'd R.I.P. Night King ever. He does not need to rest in peace. May he rest in oblivion.
Wow, you're so judgmental. Who are you to judge? Night King could have been a good dude. Andy Bronson, we don't know.
We don't know because he went with those guys. He went with the Dothraki, never returned. So our assumption is he died off screen, which would be very sad because everyone loves Ghost.
But somebody in the chat said earlier that they saw the preview to the next episode and Ghost was in it, in the next trailer. So good, that's awesome.
Okay,
so that makes me feel happy.
Yeah, so he made it, he survived, and that makes me happy too because Jon needs his.
Okay, dog. So Deborah is saying that he feels like Jon Snow will have a good ending. No heroes without the Night King. I don't know, man. I think Cersei would give him a run for his money. She is a pretty evil bitch.
Yeah, she is.
She's got a way with words. Night King's just a quiet dude and likes to bring people back from the dead. We don't know anything about him. Yeah. He has no motivation other than, just make everything frozen? I don't know.
Yeah, someone said, do you think Arya's pregnant?
We joked about that last time. We joked about what's his name?
January. Just one time.
That's all it takes.
Well, obviously they're gonna have sex again because in the preview I think you saw them kissing or they're gonna be making out. But my thing, I still think Daenerys is
Night King is Galactus, a force of nature.
I still think that Daenerys is gonna get pregnant because of what she said last season, and now she's down. Is she down 1 dragon or 2?
No, she's gotta have 2 dragons.
She still has 2 dragons?
They can't kill everybody off screen.
Well,
right?
no. Well, I was just saying when John's dragon. When John went down,
he didn't.
If Rhaegar didn't, okay,
he's not dead.
Okay, that's all I'm at. So she, I still think that she's gonna end up being pregnant. We still have time. We have 3 episodes left, and I imagine
Cartel
we're gonna
from Hell. Damn, she was like rest in peace. I wish the Night King had said something. I almost thought he did too. I thought he almost did when he turned around to John.
What you wanted? What if his voice is like? I just don't know.
I think it's better when it's quiet.
Yeah, the fact that he didn't have to say anything probably would be better. Because what if he turned out to have? They couldn't find the right voice to fit that character, and I wasn't satisfied with it. Then I'd be disappointed. Kind of like I was with how Ralph Fiennes did the voice for Voldemort. But other than that, it is what it is.
Night King and White Walker's speech is like crackling ice. It's a good way of putting it. I can't remember if that was in the books. We don't really see the Night King in the books. Like, it's all
it's just
White
talked
Walkers.
About.
Right?
We see it more in the show than we have,
And they're not called... Are they called White Walkers?
They call them Whites.
Whites are the ones that they bring back,
Yeah, those
though.
are
You think the White Walkers are over? Yeah, sadly.
Yeah, I think
because the Night King is the one that brought them all back, right?
Yeah, and now that he's gone, and we were watching I don't know if anyone watched that after credits little like making of video. So that tree was the tree where the Children of the Forest made the first. That's what the
yeah, ironically that's where he went out.
The showrunner said. So ironically, I don't know if that had a purpose as to where he had to die in order for him to die.
So let's see. Cersei's about to fuck it all up. Plus, we don't know if that dude chases pussy except her crossbow. Where is Bronn?
I don't know. Braun's still riding.
Cersei's going to kill a lot of important. See, I wanted the Night King to kill a lot of important characters. Cersei killing them, just I don't know. I guess we see. We see how it is. We'll see how
Caesar, they don't have a lot of forces at this point.
They're down.
They're dead.
They're down to like I say 2/3 of their army just got destroyed.
Yes,
but
there's no way
they have 2 dragons.
So there you go.
But then what's his name? Who's her Meister? Cersei's Meister.
Meister. Oh my gosh,
Mance Raider? Nope, he's dead.
He's
been dead for a few seasons.
Hold on. Anyone in the chat know?
Damn, what the hell is his name? I can never remember.
Pycelle, sorry. Qyburn.
Thank you, Qyburn. Thank you, Caesar. Caesar remembers. Oh, thanks, man. I love Berserk. Thank you for watching. That's a great.
Yeah,
That's great manga. Everybody should read.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Was it David? No, who was it? Said that. Oh, I guess he took his thing back about Bran with his magic to actually do something. I'm waiting for Bran to do something too, besides just kind of being there and knowing everything, but just only telling everyone what he needs to know. It's kind of like Doctor Strange. Scorpion's gonna kill 1 dragon probably. Oh, that's true.
Man, if they do, like, I really hope Sam got some. Like, I mean, towards the end, I guess when he was crying, he was stabbing people.
Because
but it was just really weird for him to run away at the beginning of the fight. I wasn't expecting that from Sam. Like, I thought his character had grown, like, to the point of like, oh fuck it, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die with my brothers. Yeah. Brandon's gonna do on a time heist and get some stones. Spoilers. No, David. Sam's still. Gilly's still there. She was still alive.
Yeah, she's still alive. She was at the end with Lil Sam, so he survived too. So his family's still intact.
I wish the fan theory of Jon being both Targaryen and White Walker would have played out. It could still in the books, just not here.
Yeah.
We still have to continue the Jon Daenerys comp. Oh yeah.
Yes.
What do you mean I'm your auntie?
Yeah, that's
we banged, right? Like, that's not legal in 40 states.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just gonna be interested to see how this goes out, because that next episode looks like they're kind of celebrating and.
Oh, she ain't forgotten.
Daenerys. Oh, she's not forgotten. I know. So it's a question of what is Jon gonna do? Is he gonna roll over and say, "No, I don't want the throne. I'm gonna give it to you," and there you go.
Maybe Dany goes from Mad Queen and destroys King's Landing. That's a good point, Caesar. We remember there was a fan theory too that actually somebody brought it up in our chat the last weekend. Is it legal in Kentucky? We're not answering that question for Jell. We're so behind on so many things here. Somebody brought it up in the last video we did that the Night King could have taken the dragon and attacked King's Landing.
Yeah.
While everybody was up here. So that was Caesar. Okay. Yeah, man, that was a cool fan theory. I like that.
I still
but
like
unfortunately
that
didn't
Dany
happen.
goes Mad Queen. Well, Dany could still go Mad Queen and destroy King's Landing. I mean, we've seen a little bit of her, she's been talking about her destiny.
Oh, and then Jon kills Dany to save King's Landing?
Yeah.
What? Wow. Okay, I'm not expecting that. If I see that, that's going to be cool.
That would be a really interesting twist.
Yeah, Lady Mormont, man, she got it. But she went out like a true warrior.
It's
like,
exactly how you expect that character to go.
She went out stabbing a giant, took the giant out. Man, that was so cool.
Yeah, didn't like seeing her come back.
Okay, so the crossbow is going to be important, I think. Because David is asking Jaime kill Cersei. I think the crossbow is going to be very important. Because that crossbow symbolizes what Tyrion did to his father.
Yep.
And it's the instrument that Bronn needs to use, that Cersei gave him to kill both of her brothers. So it's going to be interesting to see who uses that to kill who. Like I said, I'm surprised that both of them made it out of this battle.
Oh, I expected them to, because I don't think their stories are ended. I mean, especially because the whole thing about how Tyrion's mind is what we need if we are to survive this war. And, of course, Jaime and his own sister, they have to meet back up at some point because he left her high and dry. She's upset by the betrayal. For him to just die and they never get a chance to hash it out, probably with fighting, would be, I think that wouldn't be a good payoff for that whole character. But Tyrion especially, I think the reason he survived this long is because of his mind, and I think that's the purpose. They keep mentioning it and foreshadowing it for a reason. And there has to be a reason why they keep bringing it up. For him to just die because he fought bravely does not make any sense. Now, if he had done something intelligent while he was down there, maybe that would have made sense. But just to fight for the fight's sake.
I feel like Tyrion has been making a lot of mistakes in these last few seasons.
He has.
Like, I mean, compared to Tyrion season 1, 2, 3, like, there was a reason why she made him Hand of the Queen.
Yeah.
And it feels like he has been that's why I really thought this was it. I'm like, well, Tyrion hasn't done really anything great in the last couple of seasons. Maybe he'll go out in a blaze of glory, but yeah. So right. I don't know where he will end up.
Andy brought up a good point, the Hound in the Mountains. So now, since the Hound survived, which some people didn't think he would, he's going to get to fight his
everybody
brother.
wants to see the Hound in the Mountain.
So we got the Cleganes going after each other. So that's a good reason for him to keep going. And
what was the prophecy on Cersei? Was it her brother was going to kill her?
Yes, her brother was going to kill her. Her younger brother was going to kill her. And I think Jaime is technically younger than her. Because I think she might have came out first. I don't know. Anyone can back me up on that?
Dude, Chris M., I thought the same thing, too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
interrupt. No, you're fine.
I thought Sansa was going to kill herself the way that the angle was shot where she pulled that thing out. And I was like, Tyrion, don't do it, man. Then I thought Tyrion was like, hey, we're going to go out. How about, you pop one of them bad boys out really quick in Tyrion style, I thought that's what was going to happen, but no, they didn't.
You talking about one of her boobs?
Yes, one of her boobs.
Oh, my God.
You're fucking undead out there.
He's grown from that.
He was drunk.
I know he was drunk. You're not that drunk, though.
Shit, I'm not. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's another review.
Though I thought the two of them, it was very beautiful, especially considering that they had,
it was
to
really
their marriage and everything like that.
It was really pretty how they brought it back, but unfortunately none of them died, so.
Everyone died. Not enough deaths. Anyway.
Not enough deaths. I'm not basing my review just on that.
I know.
Do you think Jon or Dany will win the throne? Same Sansa and Tyrion suicide. Okay, so he
thought they were going to suicide.
Do we think Jon or Dany will win the throne?
No.
George R. R. Martin he's the one that wrote the ending of this. And the TV show is going to end the same way that the books did.
And he said it was bittersweet.
So it's anything goes at this
I think they both win it. You know how? Because it's their kid. I'm still convinced she's going to get pregnant. I don't care what anyone says. She's going to get pregnant. She's going to have a baby. They're both going to die. Their baby's going to be on the throne. Done. That's why I think it's going to be on the throne.
Okay, there you have it.
Tyrion is his hand. Or her hand. I don't know what it'll be.
You think they would still make Tyrion a hand? Didn't you hear me? Like, he hasn't done anything smart for the last 3 seasons.
But the way Daenerys and everyone's talking about him, they know he's really smart. So, okay. They want his brain. So that's the last thing that was said. So, yeah. Yeah, I had a little bit of a Theon Sansa ship, too. But it was sunk.
Did somebody say that in the chat?
A. Mesky said the very minor Theon and Sansa ship just sunk, and I'm okay with it. I it's fun.
Well, it wasn't like he could do anything
yeah,
anyway.
Missandei
oh, wait, my boy. Yeah, I was going to say Grey Worm.
killed his dad.
All right, I forgot about that part.
Yes.
I don't think we know the identity yet. Okay.
Bittersweet because no one
wins.
It would be cool to see the North freed. In a perfect world, it'd be nice for Daenerys and Jon to split their kingdoms and just rule like that. Actually, however, I don't think that's her case. I don't think she'll do
that. Jon will have to kill Dany. It is meant to be. Dany will end up turning into the Mad Queen, mark my words, after Cersei defeats. Man, that would be such a twist on this story because
would come full circle.
She's like Mother Mary in this show.
She is. She
like
is
seriously, she's like the incarnation of...
Yeah.
So it would be so...
Which is something... Is that...
Actually, that would make me pretty happy, just because that would be a Martin thing to do.
Yeah, make her the Mad Queen.
And then just have Jon kill her.
Yeah. And Arya and the guy she slept with were rule and raised Dany's baby.
Oh, Gendry?
Yeah, Gendry is he's Baratheon,
yeah.
so he could do
it. Let's see. Daenerys versus Sansa versus Cersei incoming.
Oh,
it is going to be pretty interesting to see how the three of them, if they are ever together again on the same scene, is going to be.
These three women who all hold their own power in some right.
Any more Hodor plans? I'm surprised we didn't see Hodor. We really remember we were talking in the last episode.
People were thinking that he was going to show up as
and the only one that showed up was Ed, right?
Well, we did. Well, he saw him.
Oh, the giant.
The giant.
Yeah,
the giant. The giant came back, and then what's his name?
Somebody in the chat earlier was asking why they didn't have 2 or 3 giants, and I think that's because those giants died away from the Night King. So some of them would probably be, I don't know,
gone,
dust and bones by now.
Yeah,
kind of like we don't see a headless Stark in the crypt.
Yeah,
right?
And one of the bones was one of the maesters, right?
Yeah, he had the outfit of a maester.
The outfit, yeah.
Yeah, so Hodor didn't come back, sadly. Dany will die giving birth to Jon's kids. One will be named Leia, the other one Luke, and it will be sent to different planets.
Yeah, no, Jon, that's exactly what I think. I don't know if kids, I think kid.
She thinks kid.
I just think one child, she'll have one baby. But yeah. All the dead are completely dead now. Yes, they definitely are. They're definitely gone.
Do you think we'll get any more of a backstory to the Night King in the prequel seasons?
I'm hoping so, because that'll be an interesting... Since we couldn't really explore the backstory minus that episode with Bran and the Children of the Forest many seasons ago, given wherever they decide to do the prequel, which I think it's going to be thousands of years before any of this had ever happened, any of these things had occurred, I would love to see a little bit of backstory on the Night King and how all that stuff, how that came to fruition, the battle with the Children of the Forest and the men and everything like that. So that would be really interesting. We actually did an episode on that and we talked about. Yeah.
We'll put the link up there or somewhere after this episode's aired.
But we did do an episode about wow.
I'm okay with not knowing histories of things. It doesn't matter to me. It's a force of supernatural.
He can create an appendix just like Tolkien did. We can look at it.
Oh, later. I think you meant like a body part.
No, an appendix to the story.
Gotcha.
The appendices. Yeah, and we can all look at them later.
Yeah.
Huge dorks who want to know everything.
Jon needs to do more in the next 3 episodes now that the Night King is gone. We'll be able to throne with betrayals. It is going to be interesting because this battle is the battle.
It is.
I thought this was the battle.
But like they said, the last war. This is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the Game of Thrones, right? And that's where we're going to end.
I'd love to see Cersei in the throne at the end.
Ah!
Bandito.
Sorry, Bandito.
I don't have mine either, brother. No appendix brothers right here.
We're sorry, man.
All right. Let's go ahead while we have everybody in the chat. Oh, before you do, hit that like button, please. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Amanda and everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
What would you all give this episode out of 10? Just this episode right now alone. Not the season. Not what you wanted to see.
I think I would give it do you remember what I gave last week's episode? A 9 out of 10, I think.
9 out of 10 is what I gave it a 9 out of 10 because it was my kind of episode. I think you gave it a 9.5.
I think I would give this a solid 9 out of 10. I was happy with it.
Okay.
I didn't want a lot of people to die, but that's because I'm not dying. The music, like I said, I loved it. And that ending with Arya, 9 out of 10 for me.
9 out of 10. Okay.
Except I'm a little mad about Ghost, so.
I don't think he's dead off screen. I think they're gonna bring him back.
That's what someone says I'm gonna have to go rewatch that preview to make sure I have something.
The battle was amazing. It needed more
moments beforehand.
I think I saw. Honestly, I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10.
There you
go. It was a. I can't deny that it was not a good episode because there was a lot of good moments, but I wanted to see more.
Yeah.
This was closer to the Battle of Blackwater. Yeah, actually.
It actually was very much because
in Blackwater, I don't think anybody died except Davos's kids. And that's about it, right? Anything of importance?
No one. I don't think anyone's...
And honestly, it reminded me so much of that I thought Sansa was going to play the role of Cersei by getting everybody drunk and, like, start talking to people.
Yeah.
By calming them down. But,
nope.
Yeah, even in the way that it was shot. But, yeah, 8 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
Let's see. What's everybody giving it?
8s, 9s, 9.5s, a lot of 10s.
Good.
I think everyone's on par with us as far as
even though I was disappointed, it was
deep.
still
Definitely.
Like I said, even though I was a little disappointed, I think it was still a solid show. 1 out of 10. Holy shit!
Miguelito.
Why are we still watching the show, man?
Yeah.
1 out of 10. That's like fucking.
I need to know what you.
The OC, season 2. I never watched that show, by the way. That was her show.
That's my show.
Miguelito. Oh, wait.
Oh, 10 out of 10. Oh, 10. Thank God.
Wait a minute. Ha ha ha. ¿De dónde eres, Miguelito? 9 out of 10.
Story development.
Go back to the Real Housewives. Which season? I think Sansa and Tyrion will be a couple again.
Oh, no,
I would
no
like to. I would like to
Real
see
Housewives.
that.
No, thank you.
I would like to see that. I would love to see Sansa and Tyrion.
Me too. Actually, after this episode, I said I would be okay with that because, they both. She needs a man that if she wants to have a husband, she needs a man that I think she could trust, and I think he's the only person she actually would trust because he never defiled her without, he never did anything to her. He treated her with kindness whenever they were together, and he comes back.
Bunch of little people babies running around.
Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna.
Wait a minute, but Sansa's tall, dude. That will even that out.
Yeah, I guess so. That's just.
I don't know how that
technically,
works.
I think she must be 18 by now. So
in the book, she's like 15, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, I know.
But in the show, we're talking, at least 20.
She has to be 8. Yeah, she has to be 20. So she's still technically an adult. This is,
I'm not sure if it works that way. Yeah, me neither. I don't think it works that way. I don't know science. I have a YouTube show about comic books.
Yeah, don't ask him those questions.
Besides the lack of losses and the death and Night King, this is a 10 out of 10.
So, I mean, don't worry. I think we'll get more deaths, guys. I think it's just not going to
I
happen.
want a 10 out of 10 episode for me. I've had a 9 and an 8. I want a 10 out of 10. And I think, so Nice Villains was saying that Miguel was also directing episode 5. So we're going to get another battle.
Okay, good deal.
Cool. Well, Amanda?
Sign us off. I guess if that's anything else, nothing else in the chat. Thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for notification of more great near mint condition content. Remember to follow us on all of our social media channels at Near Mint Con, and we do have a Patreon. So if you want to support our channel, you can go visit that in our description about our channel, and we have some great stuff for our patrons because we love you guys so much. And remember everyone, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint. Have a good evening.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
I always forget that I gotta go turn this thing off. So you gotta entertain
so I should
people.
do that when Omar leaves. So while everyone's here, Battle of the Bastards was the best, David.